Nice run and a good one. Williams outside. 15 keeps his feet. And Williams finds the end zone. And he is in for a touchdown. On second down, here's a toss. Here is Lucas. Jalen Lucas, that great speed. Keeps his feet. Inside the 30. Lucas, 10, 5. Touchdown, Indiana. It's Henderson cutting back and finding the end zone. Touchdown, Indiana.
Welcome to the LEO podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bragg. You can find me on Twitter. It's at Bragley, Braggley. Brandon's not here. Sad face. I think. I don't know. It might be a lot more enjoyable for people on a Monday morning to listen to this without getting their faces melted off by Brandon. But to make things a little bit less enjoyable, I guess, is producer Seth is here with us, of course. You can block him on Twitter. It's at Setah5, SETAH5. What's up, Seth?
Oh, I'm just the optimism train here. We just got good stuff happening on my football teams. I mean, everything's great.
Really glad I put Justin Fields back in the starting lineup today for that disaster or whatever your team is trying to do. So, cool. Speaking of disasters, you know what? I'm gonna start it on a positive note. We have lost again. 0-3 in conference. All three losses coming to, at the time, undefeated teams. And then that team went ahead and lost to an undefeated team. All four losses as a team, and correct me if I'm wrong, no, Louisville lost on Saturday, didn't they?
To Pitt, yeah.
They got beat at Pitt. Everybody loses at Pitt, though. Bad. But, coming into this week, undefeated. Really good teams, right? All of them ranked, minus Maryland. But let's not get too down. Before we get into it. So we're going to talk about game number 6. It's a loss on the road to Michigan, 52-7. I didn't get to watch much of the game. I watched a half, but in like pieces. Kind of listened and watched on the way up to Blippi Live with my children, which was a nice kind of, sideways route around the sadness that it was the football game. So Seth did the outline. He's got a lot of stats in here that I don't necessarily care about, but we can go through them at some point. 52-7 the final. I went back through and read some of the box score stuff. Can't understand how they scored 52 points based on some of the things I'm reading. I mean, they've got 5 more receptions. They ran the ball 9 more times. That doesn't usually equate to 45 points. So, and Seth's trying to prove me wrong here, but each team, IU carried the ball 33 times, Michigan 42. IU had 14 team catches, Michigan had 19. And they scored 52 points. And they weren't like 90-yard touchdowns.
I mean, that's what I was just looking at. I mean, there's a
54-yard catch from Colston,
a 36-yard drive for a touchdown, a 51-yard drive for a touchdown, a 52-yard drive for a touchdown.
It all comes down to what, Seth?
46.
Yeah, it all comes down to the takeaways and the turnover
field position. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And I think they had a real big kick return. I'm just happen to be here. Maybe not. They had a 28-yard kick return, a 27-yard punt return.
It was the punt return.
The Tyler Morris one. I think it was like right before halftime or around that time where they were starting to gain a lot of momentum. Yeah, it's 52-7. It is what it is, right? I think that we can go through some of the good things that I thought were good, and then we, for some reason, changed them up and planned on changing them up, apparently. First quarter went very, very well, to the point to where I turned to my wife in the van as we were up to on our way to Blippi, saying, we continue to play like this, we might have a legitimate shot to at least hang in this. And then we just decided that we weren't going to continue doing what we were doing, which was weird. And then we stuck with that thing that didn't do as well as the first thing, what I thought. So what I'm referencing is we made a quarterback change in the middle of the quarter. Was it the middle of the quarter, or at least in the half? It was the third drive of the game.
Yeah, it was right before the end of the first quarter. So I think Yeah, right before the end of the first quarter.
And so people are like, well, Brendan Sorsby led us on a touchdown drive. Well, did he? He didn't even throw the touchdown pass. Or wide receiver threw the touchdown pass. I thought Taven looked good. Perfect? No, I think he looked like a freshman and sometimes with some of those interceptions. And one of them was a tip, right? The other one was just a bad throw. Again, into the first quarter when he was done playing, it was 7-0. Or no, it wasn't 7-0 when he was done playing, but 0-0 still when he was out there playing football. The defense was holding up. I thought we moved the ball pretty well, a couple different drives.
Back-to-back 3-and-outs for the defense to start the game.
I thought he looked like he was kind of in a rhythm. Again, he made one throw that was tipped, another throw that was kind of either a bad route or just a freshman mistake or redshirt freshman, whatever you want to call it. The dude had 2 drives. He threw the ball 7 to 13, 52 yards. He was the leading passer in the game. Leading passer. And so he didn't come in, right? He didn't come back into the game. So
yeah, he did.
Ran it out. Did he come back in?
Yeah, he came back in.
Okay. I only saw the first half. I'm glad he came back in. Hopefully he can continue to hold that spot down. Nothing against Sorsby. I thought Sorsby made some pretty fancy moves with his feet a couple times. Do we do it now? Do you want to have the quarterback discussion now? Do we even need to talk about the game?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. What are we doing?
So the quarterback room went 13 for 28 for 96 yards, 14 carries for 19 yards, 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles, 2 fumbles lost.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
But what I think the issue is, if you could combine these 2 guys into one player, you'd have a hell of a quarterback. Sorsby's a willing runner. He's not a great passer, but he's a better decision maker. And Taven doesn't want to run the ball. He just does not into it at all. Wants to be a pocket passer, but doesn't make good decisions. So if you could combine those 2 guys, hot damn, you got a quarterback. But as of right now, what the hell do you have? And as soon as one guy starts to get a little bit of confidence, then they switch. Yeah. So, and then as soon as Sorsby starts to get a little bit of confidence, then they switch. It's like, how do you feel good about yourself? I get not naming a starter to enter the season. I believe that it was a fierce competition. I believe it was hard to make the decision. But damn it, you're 6 weeks into the season. You still have pussyfooted around on making a decision. And how the hell does, you've shot both their confidence in one fell swoop. And now we're getting the Twitter whispers are becoming a roar of, when's Dexter Williams coming back? I saw he was practicing, right? Wasn't he dressed in warmups? Where's he at? And it's like, well, holy hell. Like at the second half of the Louisville game, we're like, we got a quarterback. This guy's confident. He's throwing ropes. He's making decisions. And now we got nobody again. 2 quarterbacks out, confidence at least. Hopefully they can bounce back. It's recoverable. And now we got the fans who are already going, where's Dexter Williams? Is he back yet? Is he healthy? Is he an option?
I just want another thing to put in perspective here is that this is probably, and it's debatable, I would say, probably the best defense in the country. If not, it is definitely the second best defense in the country. They're good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're good. We scored the second most points, I think, tied for second most points they've given up all year with 7. They are very good. Let me read some stuff. Now, the first drive, obviously, pass incomplete, punt, or pass complete, punt, right? Then they come out. They send him 3 and out on negative 11 yards with a sack, I think, to finish the drive. And then here's Taven's second drive, okay? Complete to Camper for 6. And then get to whatever. It's either way. Complete, run, complete, incomplete. Complete, run, complete, run. And then this was the killer. Down at the Michigan 11 on 3rd and 7, I think it was Kadick or it was Carter Smith with a false start on 3rd and 7.
Smith, yep.
With just a great drive. Boom, 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 first down. Boom, 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 first down. Boom, first down. Boom, 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 first down. Like, just marching down the field against this defense. And then on 3rd and 12, under pressure, if I remember right, is when he threw his pick. I just don't think that. I understand it's scripted, but at that point, I'm like, dude, you just drove down that field pretty easily.
And he knew it was coming out no matter what. Even if he scores a touchdown, he's out.
I don't know, man. It didn't make sense to me.
But here's what did make sense. That game plan the game plan during that drive made a hell of a lot of sense. It was quick reads. The ball was out. It was slants. It was stops. It was just really quick, one step, not even read, just get it out. And you were getting in 2nd and manageable, 3rd and short, and they were easy to convert. That was a rhythm. That was a methodical drive that you could have been able to replicate on. Yeah. And then they make the bad throw, whatever. And then it's over. Then they make the quarterback switch. At that point, it's who knows? It's just a complete crapshoot at that point. And so that's the frustration, I think, is because you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Yeah. And I'm a big Brendan Sorsby fan. Like I own a shirt. I've contributed to his NIL money. I own a Brendan Sorsby shirt. I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback or he shouldn't be the starting quarterback, but we saw what Taven can do if you just leave him in and let him run an offense. Even under that crap Walt Bell offense, they at least looked competent and good for a half, right? And then they looked pretty good a couple other times. I mean, they looked great against Indiana State, obviously, but I thought they looked really good on his second drive. Everything looked right. It looked like it made sense. It looked like there was a competent person running and calling plays. The quarterback looked confident. It's just a weird thing. I get it. I think I get it a little bit. I kind of see the logic of new offensive coordinator. Let's test him out in a real game scenario, see how it goes. I think you're too late in the season. I think you just got to pick a quarterback and stick with it. Here's the thing, guys. It's not the end of the world.
No, not at all.
If we take a step back, we all had this marked down as a loss.
This is where you expect it to be.
Yes, we all had the majority of what's happened in the season outside of the coin flip of the Louisville game of where we are. Honestly, Seth has us in this exact same position right now. And he has us going 6-6 to finish the season at the beginning of the season. There's still light at the end of the tunnel. Now, we're probably skipping ahead a little bit, but I will say, and I will be there Saturday. I will say if Saturday turns into a crapshoot of what the last 2 games have been, then I think it's time to start reevaluating a lot. What are your thoughts on that? Because I do not think, I'm still going to stick by it. I do not think Rutgers is a very good football team.
No.
They're not a 5-2. They are 5-2, but they are not a 5-2 football team.
No, this is not your traditional 5-2 Big Ten team that's on the fringe of being ranked or maybe in the low, in the high 20s. This is a team that's beat Wagner, Virginia Tech, real big baddies.
Mm-hmm.
They start with Northwestern, Illinois. These are the teams. These are the high echelon teams they've defeated. So yeah, I mean, you're in a position still where everything is still in front of you. I mean, the hardest games are behind you.
The hardest game at Penn State's still there, but that's fine.
Yeah, but again, Ohio State and Michigan. I mean, traditionally, toughest games are behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just trying to see if for some reason anybody on the AP poll gave any sort of love to Rutgers and they didn't. Okay, good.
No. The question is, you'd like to have some confidence. You'd like to have an embedded and entrenched quarterback who, if he does throw a shit ball in the red zone, isn't looking over his shoulder wondering when the hook's coming, or he knows the hook's coming, even if he throws a perfect ball into the end zone. I mean, that's what you got to worry about. Is you don't want quarterbacks looking over their shoulder. The great thing about Sam Hartman, and God, I only watched about 3/4 of that game, is he knew that no matter what bad ball he threw, they're not taking him out. He can make a mistake. He can make a bad read. These quarterbacks aren't there yet. And because they don't have the confidence, they don't have that trust built up. I think play with a little bit of that pucker butt, and you gotta let them, you know, learn through making some of those mistakes. And unfortunately, because you got two, you got none.
I mean, I say it all the time. Let's be real, but I hate it so much.
Oh yeah, it's stupid.
Um, I was just looking at looking at the actual game I did watch. I did watch a lot of Mike Penix play. He threw a pick, right? He's not
Hold
looking
on.
over his shoulder, right?
Yeah. Do you even know the name? I've watched every single one of his games this year.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the name of their backup quarterback. Doesn't even exist.
No, I was just looking at the. Is this him right here? Is it Jeremy Bernard or is he somebody else?
Mm.
Dude, he completed 22 passes to 5 players. That's crazy. I'm trying to see who this guy is. He threw a pass in the game. It
Yeah.
is a wide receiver. So no.
What did I send you today? He's minus 140 in Heisman, and the next crop of players is at plus 1,000.
Do you want to know what he was going into that game? Plus 220. He was in first place at plus 220 going into that game.
Yeah. Williams had the worst half I have ever seen a quarterback of that caliber ever throw. And
it's
then
the Wendy's. He's eating too many JBCs. Too many JBCs, too many spicy nugs for free.
I mean, he's still a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I put Williams on my team in a heartbeat. But that half was awful. And yeah, that half alone vaulted him from what do you say, plus 220 to
plus 220 to minus whatever he is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would keep an eye out just to kind of, we're so far off track at this point, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Oklahoma's quarterback, what's his name?
Gabriel transfer from UCF.
He's in second, I'm pretty sure.
There's a crop at about 1,000 to like 1,250.
If you want to not pick Penix to win the Heisman Trophy, I do think Dylan Gabriel, because they were hyping him up because of his second half in the I'm not going to say it.
Texas game.
I'm not going to be able to say it right. Red River rivalry.
There you go.
They were hyping him up.
Where is this? Red River
rivalry. There it is. I'm legitimate just trying to say it. Red River rivalry. I can't say it unless it's real slow. But yeah, okay, whatever. I don't want to talk about this game. Do you want to? I mean, we can do some things. We'll do our stocks.
Let's do the stocks. I mean, I think that's healthy.
Stock up on
cleansing.
Offense. Stock up on offense. I have nobody. Well,
no, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'll pick one if I need to. But you go ahead and go first.
Yeah, the answer is Brent Howland.
Oh, Trent Howland.
Damn, I'm thinking of the former basketball coach from Pitt and UCLA. Yeah, Trent Howland, 5 carries, 35 yards. I know it doesn't jump the page, and most of that was in garbage time. But he had good forward lean. He ran with good pad level.
He's a monster.
Yeah. He reminded me again. I hate you always get in trouble with comparisons. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not saying he's LeGarrette Blount. I'm not saying that he's who's the guy, Steven Jackson from the Rams for a long time. Yeah. But he's got that like 6'3", 225, like real big, sturdy body.
Upright runner. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a lower pad level. But really liked what he had. And just like to have another option back there.
That was legit the only one I could think of. So I guess we could stay there. I mean, I don't know. Donovan McCauley, I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought he looked good, not just his pass, but I thought a couple of the catches he made. There was a pass that got called back. I think it was on a third down, maybe a second or third down, where he had to dive down and make a good catch. They got called back on a penalty, I'm pretty sure.
I had Omar Cooper penciled in. But good. He had that touchdown that got called back, I guess. And then he had the catch where he landed on his head, which was sick. But yeah, you're right. There wasn't a ton else to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I guess stock up for DQ Carter, as Gus kept calling him on TV, for catching the ball. Bradley Archer's back. I mean, Cam Camper made an appearance again, which is great. And I thought, again, he just looks like a stud and doesn't get targeted enough. It's hard to pick. I mean, Jalen Lucas, again, I thought he looked scared some of the time when he had the ball. But leading receiver again with a touchdown. It's hard, man. It's really hard. I think it's people are got to be thinking like it's got to be hard on stock up for defense too. But what do you have? Stock up defense?
I came up with 4 names. I think 3 are pretty obvious, and there are ones we have repeated quite a bit. The one that really stuck out to me at the end was Robbie Harrison, a 330-pound freshman defensive tackle. He had 3 tackles late in the game. He was doing pretty well against the run.
Okay. I was gonna say the run defense in general, and I know people are gonna be rolling their eyes and be like, "Oh, it gave up 163 yards." Again, here we are with two absolute studs of running backs, right? Blake Corum, 13 carries, 52 yards. Okay. Donovan Edwards, 9 carries, 20 yards. They both scored a touchdown. But again, we talked about that short field. I didn't think they looked very effective at all against this defense. There were a couple times I think Blake caught one, like he came in on like a jet sweep and picked up maybe 9 or 10. I'm trying to see his longest run was 12 yards. Donovan Edwards' longest run was 5 yards. I mean, you can go through their leading rusher was Benjamin Hall, who came in, I think it was like towards the end of the game.
Yeah, he took the Kellel Mullings role because he was out last week.
Yeah, your buddy that you hyped up is like one of the first things they talked about was him being out.
All I said was he's the pounder late in the game. That's all I said.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, if we want to name a player, Linnell Carr had a really good game.
That's the answer. That's the answer.
Yeah. Aaron Casey again, solid on national TV. Looked really good again.
They made sure Andre Carter wasn't going to beat them. They rolled a lot of their protection scheme towards him, which made Linnell Carr the kind of logical choice to really. But they had 4 sacks.
Yeah,
I think all of them were in the first half. But they got after it in the pass rush, and they also limited him pretty well in the running game because, as you talked about, 163 yards, but 58 of those at least. No, 58. There's another 6. So I'd say they held him under 100 before garbage time. So
yeah. And that's what Michigan wants to do. Michigan doesn't want to throw the ball. I mean, they will. He's a very good quarterback. Speaking of Heisman, I think he's 3rd now.
How many damn sideline throws did you see? Oh, you didn't watch the game, but he probably had
too many.
Of the 14 completions. I'd say 7 of them were dead eyes on the sideline.
Yeah. He's a good quarterback. Was he the big 5-star guy that kind of came in and they started to kind of work him in with McNamara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a good solid player. So
they had to try so hard not to give him the job outright. It was a whole like political thing, and then not political. But
I get it, but college football politics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Recruiting politics. Yep. All that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Stock down offense.
Yeah. So we talked about it. It's the quarterback room. I went through the stats. I mean, you cannot be 4-0 in the turnover game and all of them responsible of the quarterback. It's just, I don't want to dwell on it. It's just frustrating. Got to have somebody. I don't care who it is. It doesn't. That's the whole thing is at this point, both of them are eligible. Both of them are viable. Just name one of them and let it be them. I just don't like the whole, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Make a decision and go with it. We've said it from the get-go. Stop waiting around too late in the season.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to add to that. It's hard to pick on the running back room. I thought Christian Turner looked okay on a few of the runs that he had, but he only ran the ball 8 times.
Well, they were down. I mean, how can you run?
I get it.
After the first quarter.
Right. The leading rusher in attempts was Brendan Sorsby, and he was for 30 yards, but that includes sack yardage.
Some of that was running for his life backwards too.
Yeah. Trent Howland, we've already talked to. I mean, he was good. It's just hard to pick, I guess. So I'll just stick with the whole quarterback situation and just need to nail down on and stick with it. So stock down defense.
Yeah, playmakers. I mean, we mentioned the 4 sacks, but 0 turnovers caused, 1 PBU. Nobody's getting their hands on balls. It was just, they weren't giving up giant plays, which was nice. They were limiting. They were kind of compacting things as much as possible. Um, but in the big house in a game where you're trying to pull off some semblance of an upset, trying to keep the game close, you had momentum through the whole first quarter. Man, if you would have been able to get a turnover, something to keep the momentum going as long as possible, keep yourself in the game. Just never happened.
Yeah, there are a few plays that I saw where you were just talking about playmakers and stuff, and I immediately popped out. There were two passes, maybe on the same drive,
Phil Dunham
where
undercut one, missed
yeah,
it by about
and Noah Pierre the same
6 inches.
thing, missed
Yeah.
it, just missed it. Where I mean, I don't know if those are game changing plays or not. You know what? Well, I'm gonna do it. I'll call out a game changing play and call. I'm not gonna call out the player, but stupid penalties.
Oh, that was going to be I had that person on here and I was like, no, I can't do that. But
I
you're
don't want
right.
to call out the exact
It
player,
was
but
bad.
I mean, they were starting to gain a little bit of momentum, but it was not anything where like you felt it was over. As soon as that happened, that was it. Ball game. It was over. Um, it was so unnecessary too. Like I don't understand where it comes from. I've been injured and like had somebody roll on top of me. Like I've never had the urge of like throw them off of me like that. Like that was insane. I don't know. It didn't make any sense. And I'm kind of glad he hobbled and went and sat straight down on the bench where he needed to stay. So
I can't remember what football game. It was on Red Zone. Exact same thing happened in a pro game today, too.
really,
Mm-hmm. He hurt himself, kind of tossed the guy or smacked him in the helmet or something, got 15, and just ran straight to the bench and didn't see him again the rest of the day.
yeah. Oh, there was a hands to the face too, but I think that was on offense. It was Zach Carpenter had a
Yep.
bad hands to the face. On one of and Taven, let's be real. Taven had a couple drives where he came out and was killed by other people, like
Yeah.
bad penalties. I mean, I've referenced the Carter Smith false start. I mean, that's 3rd and 7. We're probably going to try to run the ball there. I mean, you're on the 11-yard line. You're probably got 2 down territory. If not, you run the ball, you set up a field goal, boom, take 3 points, get out of there.
No,
Right?
you run it. That's the time you run that 3rd and 7 draw,
Yeah,
and you set up the 3 points, and you get the hell out of there with a 10-point lead.
exactly. And I think that would have been 3-0 to start.
Oh,
That was
yep,
that
you're
was
right.
that drive.
Sorry, you're
But
right.
instead, you get put into a 3rd and 12 where you feel like you have to make a play, and there it is. So, and then I think that was also him too that was on the drive with the penalty with the hands to the face, or maybe that was Sorsby too. But I don't know. I don't want to play sides and pick a quarterback. I just think they need to pick one and stick with it and be done. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got. Stocks down. What is next? Next is our word from our sponsor, Monon Track Club. MTC is Indiana's running brand built on a deep love for the sport and the Hoosier State. They craft products, tell stories, and create experiences that aim to celebrate, support, and add to Indiana's running culture. Check out the link in the show notes for more details on their club runs and to shop their sick gear from shirts to hoodies to koozies. As a thank you to our listeners, they're offering 10% off your order. Use promo code LEO10 at checkout. That's LEO10, LEO10 at checkout to get 10% off. Now let's get back to the show. And let's get back to something I was thinking about while I was reading that, which basically I was reading it, but I know it by heart, I think, at this point. So I wasn't really reading it. Now I'm bending over to pick up a pen and carrying the microphone with me. So I don't know how that went. But why? How do I phrase this? I watched, and I did the no. I watched more college football after IU lost, which I never do that. But I sat there and watched bad teams compete. I watched Pitt beat Louisville 1, and I think they were 1-5, 1-4. Pitt beat Louisville. Be competitive. They just had a coaching change, I think. Be competitive with a good team. Where IU used to do that. IU's bad. IU used to be bad teams. I mean, Kevin Wilson's teams were bad. Some of them 3 wins, 2 wins, 4 wins, right? But they'd stay within 7 points of Michigan. Take Iowa to triple overtime. Where is it? What happened? Where's this at? Is it still there? Am I just not looking at it? Did we just run into let's just say we ran into an on fire, just bulldozer of an offense in Maryland and just got outbeat just right there in the first quarter. Maybe that's what happened. And then the other losses, Louisville tight, should have won that, or maybe taken it to overtime up close. Ohio State's a juggernaut. Michigan's a juggernaut. Is that just how I should look at it? Or is Pitt not? Pitt doesn't get to play Michigan.
Well, I think it all begins. This is going to be in my sack or my final thought or whatever, but we'll just get to this now. And the college football game and the pro football game are wildly different. But there's two things at least that really are the main similarities in good teams in both of those leagues now. And it's coaching and quarterbacks. Almost every single team you look at in the pros and in college football has a hell of a quarterback and has at least, one or two, most up and down the staff of pretty good coaches. And I think that's the biggest thing we're running into is if you don't have a quarterback, if you don't have coordinators, if you don't have a head coach, you're up creek every single week. And it makes it hard to compete against the really good teams. And because you don't have the success, because you don't have the winning experience, where needing the really tough games against the teams that are kind of in your league, that are on your level, you don't have that success factor. You don't have that previous success to fall back on, to say, hey, I know how this feels. I know what decisions, what talent, what dedication it takes to get to this level and to succeed over and over again. And so, I think the answer is when Penix and DeBoer left, it's been a revolving door at the quarterback position and a consummate ineffectiveness at the offensive coordinator position. And I think we've talked about Tom Allen not exactly being the best in-game coach. And boy, has that been magnified when you don't have any coordinators really, really helping you out.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure. Okay, let's revisit predictions real quick. Hand out a winner. Brandon has won 3 straight. Congratulations, Brandon. Seth and I both had this down as a loss at 17-34. Brandon had 17-38.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon wins with his 4-point difference. So everybody go to Twitter and congratulate Brandon at Brandon Dubich on his win. So did you have anything else in Seth's sack?
Nope. That was it. I didn't put any talk about the quarterback position in the outline, and the sack just said, make sure talk quarterback lots.
Gotcha. I assume that's how your sack talks. You left in talk about Seth's Sunday morning tweet. Do you have
that's
Sunday
wrong.
Morning tweet?
No, that's from
post
Akron still, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it, guys. Hopefully it's not too depressing on a Monday. I'm still there, but I'm on my last straw, as my mom would say.
Don't do this. This is exactly what we predicted. We predicted 2-4.
I understand it.
This is what you expected.
It can't happen on Saturday.
It's a Super Bowl, right?
It is. It is. You said it in the text, and I totally agree. It is legitimately a must win. Like it is a
Rutgers Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's big time. It's big time. And there's gonna be about 34,000 people there.
If you win, so many sins are forgiven.
Oh my God. I'm turning Twitter notifications back on. I'm all over it.
That's the great thing is we get to talk about it Wednesday. We get to be optimistic again. We get to talk shit about New Jersey and the fake New York wannabes and all the history of college football and all that jazz. But yeah, expected to be 2-4. You are 2-4. Next week's a new chance.
A lot of games left. Well, 6 to be exact. Right. Yeah. 6.
Shit, 7's still on the table.
Against some bad teams.
There's nobody's beating the brakes off anybody.
No.
Penn State's the only one that's
There are 5 winning opportunities left.
Yeah. I was gonna say Penn State's the only one off the table.
Did Wisconsin lose Saturday?
Yeah.
Who
I
did they
think
lose
so.
to? Minnesota, maybe? No, that'd be like a champ.
No,
like
was
a
that
trophy
Iowa?
game. Of course they lost to Iowa.
That was Iowa.
Wisconsin football, ESPN. I always just do the ESPN, makes it easier. So they're 4-2. They lost to Iowa 15-6.
And their stud running back,
and their quarterback's
Maluzzi,
hurt.
I saw his ankle.
Yeah, and their quarterback's hurt. Doesn't look good, it says.
And who did they go to their backup? Wasn't even Evers either. It was oh goodness, they went to somebody else who surprised me a little bit.
As good?
No, just as he wasn't. I thought Evers was going to be number 2.
Braden Locke.
There we go.
That's the dude from Mississippi State.
I think so.
Stats. I don't know.
I think that's right.
Your stats. Yeah. Pretty sure from
that was definitely the guy who was quarterback. I'm just saying, I don't know if he's from Mississippi State. That sounds right.
6-foot quarterback.
I didn't say that he was a prototypical, day 1 draft pick. I just said that he played.
Yeah. If Fickle was any sort of a, not stupid, they just run the ball all the time. And Braylon Allen averages 6.1.
He ran one of them into the ground. That's the problem.
Yeah, true. Probably. So, all right. Well, there you go. That's all I've got. All right. Be sure to check
out
my
outro. Come on.
This is your outro?
This is my outro.
Be sure to check out the pod on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to read it verbatim on podcast or at podcast LEO. Sorry. Hold on. I was just doing some other. Let's start over. Be sure to check out the pod on Jesus. Be sure to check out the pod on Twitter and Instagram at podcast LEO. Please follow our partner at Big Banter Sports for all of the latest updates, including our podcast, as well as the other 13 crappy football teams in the conference. Be sure to download, follow, rate, and review on all of our platforms. Join us next week as we preview our next game at home against Rutger. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, I took out new. I took out threads.
But you said Rutger.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They're not plural. There's one of them.
Okay. All right. You're not as optimistic as me. I would have put as we preview our victory. As we get back on the winning ways. Homecoming, baby. Till then, we'll talk to you later. Love you guys. Elio.